new parts are here. One new part. This is the new bit for the engine. In last video, we diagnosed in here the problem, hopefully, is the problem causing the engine light. The ambient air pressure sensor, which was in there. This is the new one. It's an updated version of what was on, because obviously that was all tapped now. This is the new ambient pressure sensor. Light and pain in the arse. This is the old one. Big old unit. Big heavy old unit. Plunk that on there. This is the new one. You can see a lot smaller. Plug should still fit. It's the same plug. It's a Cummins part number. It's the updated version of it. So fingers crossed. This sorts the problem. I need to move my pipe before I walk into it. I'm not going to put that on my catwalk. That would just be a stupid idea. It'd mark it, wouldn't it? Don't do that. So let's get this on here. The good thing about these things is because it's an ambient, it can go anywhere. So I don't have to worry too much about it, like being exactly in the same spot or going in the inlet manifold or anything like that. And I'm really hoping this solves the problem. I did do the diagnostics. I did check it over. I did do all the pinned it out and everything, and it was reading wrong. I think it said in the last video it was reading wrong. Hopefully this one does just cure it, and it was just that sensor went duff, as they sometimes do. New sensor on, and knowingly I was going to bolt it up and have it all nice and tidy and everything, but I can't. Still nice and tidy, but the wiring loom isn't long enough to allow for the new shape of the sensor, because the old one used to come out that way. This one goes down or up, so I can't put it on. So what I've done is I've used a cable tie. Like I say, it's ambient, so all it needs to do is read pressure. The pressure it's all around us right now, and I've cable tied it through the diagnostic plug hole. So I need to trim that off. I know I don't need to do it, but I'm really tempted to degrease and start cleaning my engine. You know, because of all these things I have to do. I might as well do something I really don't need to do. Why? Why am I like this? Why am I like this? Hang on, look at this thing. Ooh, I might take this off. Take that off and blast it and paint it. I don't need it off right now. Oh, I could do it. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I've got other jobs to do. Get it ready for MOT. Not just start degreasing and cleaning my engine. It's because Dave Hennon, the owner of Drifter Style, the man himself. I was there last year. I said, how can I improve? And he said, it makes a big difference having your engine look nice, painted and stuff. So now I'm sitting there in my head going, Dave said I should paint my engine. Let's paint my engine. Oh, my light, man. I'm putting the kettle on. Before I get into starting it and seeing if the engine light's gone out, I've decided to pull the mid-lift off. I started, and it was nice and sunny, and now it's grey and miserable. It's okay, I got a cup of tea. Oh, there's the rain. Bloody English weather, man. Oh well, let's get a jumper on or hoodie on, and crack on. I've buzzed all the wheel nuts off. I went the old school, I went with a little Milwaukee. And I also got wheels nuts off quite happily, but if you're doing a lot of them, I feel like it proper knocks it, like if you're trying to use it for doing a lot of them. You do it, but I'd rather, if I've got big gun, I'd rather use big gun. But that involves moving the trailer forward, getting the big airline out the shed, and yeah, we'll pull the drum off. I don't know if I need to worry about pulling the passenger side drum off, front drum off, because they went through all right. The mid-lift, I know I'm going to have to screw up, as you've seen in the last video. They just don't get used enough, so I'm just leaving it down while I'm moving everything around at the minute. And then the rears go through, but I think I want to put drums on. I think. We'll see. Drums and shoes on the back, if I can. Then I've been looking at the engine and thinking, let's get that degreased and cleaned up and stuff, just so it's nice. Not that you ever see it, but I want it nice. Because why not? I'm daft like that. Let's rock. The rain stopped enough to get on now, so get this wheel off. Come on, there we are. Be there too. Now, I don't think I haven't. These are already out because they were knackered. I thought they were. It's got really good drums on the mid lift. Really good drums and shoes. They're pretty much new. They just don't get used. That's the problem. Also, someone I saw on one of the ERF groups the other day was asking about how you adjust them. So I'll just give you a very quick demo. Near side is anti-clockwise, off side is clockwise. So we'll go into the bottom. I might have to get a torch head on. You go into here. You got to be careful with the Z-cam adjusters because they can be funny. But they can also repair them as shown in the last video. You get repair kits for them and not a horrendous job to do. So this is the adjuster here. That pushes in. I'll not go through the whole adjuster because it's on the last video of how they work and you push them in, the ratchets and stuff. But so near side is anti-clockwise to wind them on. So I want to wind this one off. Push it in until you feel it engage, and then am I going on or off there? I think I'm going the right way. Wind it off. Am I? No, I'm going the wrong way. I'm overcomplicating it. My brain's not letting me. There. That's the way. The nice way I find to tell if you're going on or off. When you wind it off, it winds the adjuster out and locks itself up. You can see. You'll see what I mean when you do it. But I'm just going to wind that off. A few turns. That makes it move nice and easily. And then when you want it back on, wind it back up until it stops. Don't tighten it. Wind up till it stops. I like to settle the drum. I press the brake pedal a couple of times. I hit the drum with a knocky stick, settle everything in, re-nip it again, just nipped, and then once it's drum stopped, back it off quarter of a turn. That's usually how I set them. Someone will probably tell in the comments I'm doing it wrong, right? But that's how I do them. Let's get out of here. Get me torch before I forget it. Drawer bolts in. Wind these off. These are M12s, I think. M12s or 10s. Wind them in. If you look, either crack off. Luckily, I've had all my drums off in the last year, and you should. I say that should just pull off. There we are. That's locked up on just on the shoes. I don't want that. Must be a little lip on the shoes. On the drum. Oh, you dory man. Yeah, I'm pleased I took that off. Probably should have gone through, but it's better to scrub it up. This is the reason again why I want to pull it off. You see all this is brown and dark and not shiny. And you want it shiny. More shiny like that than that. Again, you don't need to be braking decent. You get decent braking force on it by the time you get them warmed up and cleaned off, but I might as well do it now before I take it down on the test day and it goes, yeah, one of your axles is down by like a couple hundred kilos of force, which you don't want. It's been a couple of days. I am down on a Saturday. It's now 5:30 on a Saturday. I've been busy doing other stuff before I can even think about getting onto the wagon. And I'm in me hoodie and me hat and stuff. And, you know, making me a cup of coffee because I've been busy. And we can take a couple of things off the list. I've cleaned off the mid-lift drums. Yes, that's done. I'll show you them in a minute. And I have also done the air temp sensor, as you've just seen. Woo! Guess which player just filmed the whole segment of the video and realised I hadn't pressed record until I clicked record, and then it didn't start recording. Stupid. But let's show you. There's engine light on. Engine light. Earth. Woohoo! No engine light. Winner. Happy with that. Very happy with that. So that simple sensor was what was called the engine light, and also a 15% D-rate in power. So I worked out, I think it should be about 350 horsepower with 15% D-rate on it. Still guns like a train, which is going to be back up in the 400s again. I'm going to knock it off again, save the diesel, and put the battery charger on it to keep the batteries topped up, because I've started it 3 times today. 1, because I had to move it. 2, because I had some young lads come down. I was working in the workshop. A couple of young lads turned up at the gate. So, oh, can we have a look at the ERF? Of course you can. Really nice to meet you. Really, and I will say how nice it was to meet 2 young, pleasant, polite, sensible lads. Absolutely lovely. It's refreshing. But yeah, thanks for coming down. Thanks for saying hello, and nice to meet you. And if you see us around, say hello. Right, next job. I want to try and get the lenses done, and I'm going to try and get stuck into. And some of you might have seen I was restoring some ERF badges recently. And I've got some more to do. These ones are going to make really good content, because these ones are very worn. And I think what I might do as well, I might do my own, because my own aren't as nice as the ones I've done. I've got to show you these brake drums that I've cleaned up. I've got them off at the minute, because the mid-lift doesn't work on the handbrake. It's only a foot brake, so I just don't use the foot brake for when I'm shunting it backwards forward. And yeah, they're clean. I actually took them off completely and sandblasted them. Giving the inside a quick rake over. I haven't gone too hard on the inside just to clean them. I'll give them a buzz up with some 120 that'll make them nice and clean. But I'm going to have to redo them, because they have very quickly flash rusted. Look at that. They were clean. I blasted them last night at about 5 o'clock. And now I came in this morning thinking, I might get them painted, but I can't paint them in here because we've got those hanging up, which we just painted, hung up to dry. Dad's bike's there, which I can't move because it's just numb and awkward to try and move on your own, and I don't want to risk damaging anything or moving anything. And I can't paint them in the oven because the GT6 is in the oven, ready to paint on Monday morning. So they will have to be quickly blasted again before I paint them. I'll blast them and paint them within like an hour of them coming out of the blaster, just so they don't flash rust. Those roof markers were a job I was putting off, so I couldn't be bothered to get the ladders out. Got the ladders out and they're done within 30 seconds. Just do it. Just do it, and I didn't, and I put it off. But it's done now. So that's another job we can tick off the list. I got slightly involved. And yeah. the old, oh yeah, I'll just put it together. I can't put it together yet. So what I've done is, I was started cleaning it up, and I thought, I'll give it a lick of paint. I want to paint it before I put it all back together. And then a lick of paint turned into a needle gun it, and then a needle gun turned into heating all the bolts up, just the heads off, so I could clean them up a lot easier. And then that nearly turned into taking the hub off, but luckily in my head I went, no, don't be stupid. And then it turned into, I've sanded it so it gives a nicer finish because it's a bit pitted. But if it did come off, it would have been taken off, prepped, primed, flatted, painted. Look absolutely awesome. Don't do it, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it.
Don't do that.
I'm gonna do it here on the wagon, and it'll look super nice anyway. It just won't be super flat. Yes, right. Before I get any more involved, I'm going to carry on, and I'm going to stop myself from thinking about taking it off today, because that is genuinely a stupid idea. First off, I want to do is get these. I've just tapped the got the broken bolts out the hub, like I did on the other one in the last video on YouTube. Not that one. So I just want to tap the threads out and get them threads nice and clean, because I've got new ones to go on. Tapping these holes here are for where the original ERF donuts or step rings or whatever you call them went on. There's a bracket. ERF people will know, but if you don't, like the ERF man, you won't know. There's a bracket that goes on here, bolts on, and it comes out, and you bolt the wheel trims, donuts, step rings onto them. I don't have them, and I'm not using them, so I'm using normal donuts. So, but at the same time, the holes didn't look very nice, so tapping them out, getting them cleaned out, all the dirt and the paint and stuff cleaned out of them. I put some paint on. I'm going to put 2 coats of epoxy on. I'll probably have like an hour off hour need. What time is it now? It is 4:30. Might get a coat of red on tonight. Depends what time I get finished. Problem is I've got to leave it 2 hours to go off before I can put the top coat on. It's the only problem with the only downside of the epoxy, but bugger me, it's good stuff. Again, this epoxy Celimix 7413, supplied by LPM Paints. Jonathan, who turned out to be a good friend. Yeah, let's crack on and get some paint on these before I end up working till stupid o'clock at night. So I forgot I hadn't finished this video when I've been doing other videos. I got in between videos and forgot to finish this video. So what we got done, so I just went through the editing and went, so I've got done the engine light. Don't have an engine light anymore. Winner. And here we are with the finished hubs. Look at them. So I decided to paint them red, Massey Super Red. You might have seen on TikTok and other platforms. You might have seen on other platforms that I already painted them red. I forgot I haven't put them on here. But we've got the lovely clean painted drum. We've got lovely clean properly painted hubs. All in all the nooks and crannies and hairy fannies. And we're done and dusted. Now I've only got 4 more hubs to do. Yeah. And yeah, I've got the chambers done. I haven't got the chambers done. I've painted the chambers. You'll see that coming in another video soon. Video chambers to fit in the front. And lots of other stuff to do. But the good news is we've got the mid-lift brakes done, the engine light's done, the roof marker light lenses are done. So we're getting through the work for the MOT, which is good. I'm pleased with that. I just need more time on it. But we're getting there. We're getting there. I think next video I'll probably be fitting the chambers on the front. I might pull the drums off, blast, paint them, paint the hubs, stuff like that. Well, I've got it all apart. Fingers crossed. And I'll try and get it in for MOT soon. It's now middle of July, and I need to get it tested. So yeah. I hope that kind of worked in the consistency and the fluidity of the video. I say I completely forgot I hadn't finished filming it. Oh, it's time to go home. I'm in the middle of this like 30-odd, 37, 38 degree heat. And I'm ready for home. So I'm going to go home now. But yeah, thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe and all that jazz. And come along for the journey if you haven't already. Yeah. Cheers and ta for now.